somewhere you mentioned that I'm a brown female entrepreneur in fintech, which is a bros community, if I may call it that. What is it that you found as a narrative for yourself, or as a narrative that you speak out loud to yourself, or however it may be, that allows you to stay present when you are kind of creating a way in an industry where there is no path for you?
Yeah, I love that question. I wish I understood this sooner, is that you don't have to fit, right? I think for the first, 5 to 7 years of my career, I was trying to fit. I used to say a man in a skirt in fintech. Like I was always, I dressed different. I was trying to be part of it's not, if I look back in hindsight, it's not my fault, right? Everybody wants a seat at the table. It's not your fault. This is human nature. We all want to feel like we belong, that we're liked, that we're supported, that we're heard. These are human to human things that we crave. Business is personal. Whoever says business is not, I was so exhausted from hearing, business isn't personal. It's the most personal thing that we do. You want to feel part of the table. And when the table doesn't look like you, when the table doesn't talk like you, when the table doesn't even pay attention to you, right? There's so much, even if it's not conscious bias, there's so much unconscious bias, right? And we can't change that. So control your controllables, right? I can't control what fintech looked like or what financial services look like. And I was trying for so long to try to fit in. And I think it worked for many. I think it worked. And that's part of it. And I don't love that. But I didn't have a choice. And you have to learn how to play the game. And that's the shitty part of, sometimes some of the, building a business sometimes. But I really look back and I wish I didn't try to play the game. Like I wish, and it didn't happen for me until maybe 5 to 7 years into my career, post-motherhood really, where I was so much in my masculine in these rooms and in the industry. But I'm not, my energy is actually a very feminine energy. And instead of trying to shift my energy, right, if I could just bring my energy to the table, it would change or create a new table, right? Like I didn't need that. I didn't need it. And after having Mila, my first daughter, and then Anna, I feel like it really did open up a different side. And I think, a lot of women will experience this post, just motherhood. Really, it's so different. It's so unique. It's so incredible. Being a parent is so incredible. And I had to show up different. I couldn't leave a different part of me now, like at the table. And I do think that it changed for me. I think when I finally gave myself that respect, I allowed myself that space to bring my whole self to the table. We created the most incredible organization and we did things differently. And I didn't have the confidence at that time, like in myself. I didn't have the belief in myself because I had everyone around me constantly doubting me. But the advice that I want to give to anyone who feels like they are the outlier, that is your superpower, right? That is it. That's your superpower. Bring what's unique to the table. That's what the world needs. If everything looks the same, is the same, then nothing's going to change. We have to we're getting to bring a fresh perspective to the table. We're building the most products in a unique way, right? And it's not about diversity. And I share this a lot in, the large, the tech conferences, and that's really important, but it's really important about diversity of thought as well. So when we think about even diversity and what we're bringing to the table, everyone knows why it's important, because we need to build products and services that, we have differentiating thoughts at the table, right? It's not just about the color of our skin or the age or the gender. It's really about the differences in our thoughts and what we can create together. And not every room also, and so I also can share that this is a very open thought process, a very optimistic and hopeful thought process. And I also know that sometimes isn't the reality, right? And so we do have to, we do have to figure out how to play if we want to win. But it doesn't mean that you change who you are. It just means we've got to double down on our unique value propositions. If that person's not listening, then there's somebody else that will. And so you have to be willing to also part. You have to be willing to say, that's okay. And you're not going to be everything to everyone. And that's hard as a human sometimes, because you want to, especially those that are outliers. I feel like our empathy levels are so high because we know what it feels like to feel like the outsider. So we want everybody to be included. We want everybody to be together, right? We want to create a space that is for all. And that sometimes isn't the reality. And so control your controllables. If you're not receiving that back, you don't need that. Like, let's go build something where we create our own space. And that's exactly what I've been trying to do for, in the fintech space. Even right now, I'm building my second company, and we're building the business credit score. It just doesn't exist. It's so exciting, but it's really about an equitable landscape, right? It's really about having, in financial services, women, people of color, were just left out of the financial ecosystem. And that's because there's unconscious bias. There's not the tools where there's humans making decisions about other humans. It should be based on data, and there's no standardization of that data. And so even after all the things, I think that people who are those outliers, who have been left out, are the ones that find ways and build products and solutions to bring everybody with them, to bring everybody to the table.
So what I'm really hearing you say here, or what I'm hearing or experiencing of what you're saying, is if you feel you're different, it may be an opportunity to create something different.
I agree.
Because that's not a challenge, that is a gift.
It is. It's a strength. We should double down there.